Hey everyone, welcome to Comics with Bueller. As always, I'm Bueller. Today is episode 131 of the brand new Coffee and Comics Show. And as you can see, I'm not alone. I got my good friend Damien here with me. Damien, how you doing today?
AKA Sleepy Reader 666.
That's right.
It's kind of my catchphrase.
There you go. How you doing?
I am good. I am very happy to be on this amazing set with you.
Yeah.
And helping you get back into the groove of doing your morning show.
There you go. Now, as you guys can see, Bob is not here. He had surgery a couple days ago, and he's doing well. He's doing just fine.
Right, good.
And I think he'll probably be able to make it back next week. I don't know 100% for sure.
So this is not a permanent position for
No, you're only, no. But here's the thing. I've tried to get this gentleman on here for a while. I think his first excuse was, I got stung by a bee, and he wouldn't come on. Am I wrong?
You called me and I had a weird allergic reaction to something.
And
my tongue was swollen up. I literally couldn't speak. It was very bizarre.
So anyway, he blew me off on that occasion. It's literally took me about...
I just didn't like Bueller then.
Yeah, it took me about 2 years to get him on the show, and it took Bob having surgery on his mouth to get him here. But like I said, Bob's doing good. I think he'll be back next week. If
That's
not,
awesome news.
I might have Jennifer on, or maybe, and this would be wonderful, Jennifer and Bob. And I could just direct.
That would be cool.
I would love. I've been waiting for that day, or maybe you and Bob, whatever. But maybe the day will come where I
move on to directing.
And I'll be like, cut, no good, or what?
We'll
Redo.
Just be your puppets.
Anyway, we always start off with the coffee that we're drinking, and of course, we're drinking coffee from Mocha Express, but a different location on the way here. He went to the Portland area one, the drive-up one.
The drive-through Mocha Express.
There you go.
An express Mocha Express.
There you go. What'd you get?
I got a mocha with oat milk.
Oat milk.
I have a bit of a milk problem, so I got oat milk.
He's got a milk problem apparently. Allergic reaction. Maybe that's what it was.
Asthma makes my throat swell up.
Oh, that's not good. And then you can't come on the show.
Yeah, can't talk.
I've heard that. I've heard that. I'm having a hazelnut latte, which is something I always get, and it's pretty good. It's not as good as the one from my local Mocha Express.
Oh, you can tell the difference.
Mine's made with love.
Okay.
And like you said, those people didn't even know who I was.
Yeah, I asked the guy, do you know Travis? And
they wouldn't know.
And he said, I don't recognize the name. And I said, do you work at the other location? He said, yeah.
No, he doesn't.
So he must have, I don't know.
Oh, he's lying to you. He might think the other location.
Oh, is there a third one?
Three ones.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, maybe that's
There's another one in Portland that the sit down where you can just go sit down and hang out.
Okay.
And then there's my location, which is
the
my
real
location. The real which you've been to.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's my favorite cafe to read comics in.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's made with love. But I'm gonna have a sip here. It's very wonderful.
Loveless coffee.
There you go. Real quick before we get started, I just want to say, and I've mentioned this on the show before, Damien is the originator of the Coffee and Comic Show. This guy's been doing YouTube for how many years?
A little more than 9 years.
9 years. Okay, way back in the day, he did videos, coffee and comics. I think he was sitting in his car.
Yeah, I would go on my break at work, get a coffee, then sit in my car, shoot a short video about my thoughts about some comic book.
Yeah.
And then go back to work.
And there you go. So that's where it originated. Now, I get your blessing for doing what we're doing here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows.
You've superseded my previous work.
There you go. Awesome. Let me go ahead and go to a rundown of the show real quick. We'll tell you what's coming up on the show. We'll start off with some announcements and thank yous. We'll go to our first five, brought to you by Bird City Comics. We'll have our topic today, brought to you by Black Box Comics. And our topic today is Substacks and what they exactly are and what it means for the comic book industry. Damien has done a couple of videos on his channel about it. I've done some research on it. We got a bunch of comments. This is something people are starting to talk about and ask about, and we want to hit on it pretty quickly because this, I don't know if you want to call it game-changing, but it definitely puts a wrench into the comic industry that we know it today.
Right. Is it game-changing or not, I guess is the big question.
That's kind of what we'll hit on. We'll also have our final five brought to you by Bird City Comics. We'll do our Honest Mystery Box reviews brought to you by Scout Comics, and today we're doing another Comic Tom 101 mystery box for the next month. And the reason why I wanted to be contrasting to the two different months. The first one we did have that really awesome Something is Killing the Children book that was sky high the day it came out. Now this box doesn't have as much buzz around it, but yet we're still going to see how it did as far as review-wise. We'll also have our random thoughts. We're going to talk to you about my trip to MegaCon and just the cons in general. We'll talk to you about, I'm going to be doing auctions this week. As a lot of you guys know, I'm selling a lot of my collection, almost all my collection, to be totally honest. I have a brand new Indiegogo campaign. We'll hit on that a little bit. I also want to talk about the comics on coffee. They had a booth at MegaCon. They sold every single bag of coffee.
Wow.
Every single day. They were actually out of bags on Sunday within 2 hours of they took the rest of the day off. They did awesome. Wow. They are growing, and I'm happy to be associated with them. I also want to say real quick, I had some giveaways from before I left. I'm just now getting those out. I'm sorry it's going to take a little bit of time. I literally have been away from my house I've only been in my house for 2 days out of 2 weeks. And so I'm just now getting those giveaways sent out to a couple people who won those giveaways and some other things. So those are going out this week, so please be patient. They'll be to your door hopefully by Thursday or Friday. And then we're also going to talk about Elvira and a couple other things as well. So that's a rundown. So let me go ahead and get started here with the announcements and stuff. Like I said, the Indiegogo campaign, that's a new book that I'm going to be doing an exclusive cover with Dynamite. That's really all I can tell you right now, besides the fact that it's game changing. But this is actually really special.
Nothing will ever be the same.
Exactly. Nothing will ever be the same once you see this one. I don't have a picture of it yet. It actually hasn't been drawn yet. The artist who's doing it is busy this month. He starts on it first of next month. It's a famous creator that's been around a long time and actually is involved in one of the biggest things in the history of comic books. And now he's going to be working on a book for me, which is just like, wow, do I deserve that? No, not at all. But you can sign up for the Indiegogo right now, and you don't have to sign up to buy it. You can just sign up for the newsletter. I'll leave a link down below. Just put your email address, and then they'll send you the newsletter. And then when it comes out, if you want to support it, you can. But you'll be up to date on everything that's coming out.
Yeah, from what you've said, it's going to bring your cover level up to a whole new level.
Yeah. It's
really a change.
Definitely, like I said, definitely a first appearance. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's you. I don't know.
I think it will. From what you told me, I think it'll be a huge collector's item.
I hope so. I'm pretty excited to see it. Like I said, I haven't seen it, but I know what it's supposed to look like because I have a homage cover that I kind of mentioned about what I want it to be, and if they follow that direction, then I kind of know what it's going to look like. And like I said earlier, we're starting auctions this week. I think I'm going to start on Friday doing auctions. I have a lot of independents. We're going to start with independents, go through that lot, then we'll move on to DC and Marvel and a bunch of other stuff. But like I said, I'm selling a bunch of my collection. But the auctions are a lot of fun. I'll give everyone a chance to purchase the Bueller collection. And I'm selling literally 30 short boxes of books. And I'm only keeping like 3 or 4 short boxes. And that's about it. I want to say thank you to our new Patreons. We have Clayton, Jay, and Jason, brand new Patreons to the channel. Thank you so much. If you want to join our Patreon, it's the cost of 1 comic book a month. If you think I'm worth 1 comic book a month, if you think Damien is worth 1 comic book a month, or maybe more, this guy's worth quite a bit more, to be totally honest. Anyway,
I'm cheap and easy. I don't cost anything.
Feel free to join our Patreon. It does keep the lights going and keeps the wheels rolling. I made that up. Sounds pretty good, right? All this good stuff. So thank you to our newest members. And I also want to say thank you to the people who did Super Chats. We've done a lot of live stuff recently with being at the Comic-Con or just doing some other stuff because I couldn't do the regular videos. So thank you to the people who have done Super Chats. It goes a long way. All right. That's kind of the announcement. So let's go ahead and jump right into it with our first 5 brought to you by Bird City Comics. Go to their website, enter code Bueller. You save 10%. Damien, you want to go first with your first 5?
Yeah. So I thought it's been a long time since I've done the 5 with you. I've never seen anyone do the old black and white magazines from back in the 70s. So I've got a Planet of the Apes cover I like a lot.
Very nice.
I think it's supposed to be a scene from Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. And then a Monsters Unleashed. I love this Boris Vallejo cover.
I'm doing the Van and White for you there.
Oh, thank you.
I like doing this.
And here is a all Richard Corbin issue of Eerie.
Nice. I like that.
And will these all fit on there?
Here, I'll set these down.
And here is an issue of Unknown Worlds of Science Fiction.
Very cool.
I can go like that.
Yeah, you stole my job.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. I see how it is.
And that one has Behold the Man. And my final one is a really cool early heavy metal cover by Mobius.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's my first 5.
I think Donnie Cates used to write for heavy metal.
Oh, did he?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not gonna
Yeah, you know what? I saw a serialized story by Donnie Cates in heavy metal I every once in a while buy the new heavy metals. And
I can't even find them.
They're hard to find.
Yeah. All right, let's see if I got my books right here for my first 5. And let's see here. This is Book of Alaxia, number 4. This is really cool because I got to talk with the writer at the MegaCon that I went to. Really cool book. If you like fantasy type thing, that's kind of what that is. This one right here is the Gin Hunter. Well, actually, I'll put this one up there. This is the Gin Hunter number 1, the regular cover. But this is the one I want to highlight. This is the nice, shiny one right there. How beautiful it is. Oh, I love that. Thank you, Black Box Comics. They sent that to me to enjoy. God, I can't even remember the name of this book. It's about the children. But I got this at the thing, and this is number 5 of 40. This is a limited run of those. I think it's called Those Damn Kids or something like that.
Just 40 copies of that
40
cover.
copies of this.
Or of the whole comic or of the cover?
Of this cover. Cover. Yeah, These Damn Kids is what it's called.
Huh.
And look at that thing. It's autographed by Bradley, the creator of it as well.
Nice.
Very cool. I like that book. And I've been wanting to get that book for a while, and he had that exclusive there, and he just gave it to me. So, speaking of exclusives, guess what I finally got?
Your own exclusive.
I got my Moon Knight books finally. Look at that. Moon Knight. There is the Virgin cover right there. The Comics with Bueller Bird City Comics exclusive. And the regular cover as well.
And that is a magnificent cover.
Yeah.
But soon to be topped by your new upcoming cover.
Oh, yeah. Onward and upward, right?
Right.
There you go. But anyway, I'm very excited to have those. I got 10 copies of each. Some people asked me for some copies. You can still get them on Bird City Comics. I think the regular version is available. I don't know about the Virgin one. Right now, I'm probably going to be giving some copies away to friends and family. If I have some extra, I'll let you know. But really, very awesome to have those. Finally, I saw everyone else get them, and I'm like just sitting there. And the real reason why I waited, and I'll just be honest with you guys, there were some damages with the book, and quite a few damages. And unfortunately, that's the case a lot with Marvel books through Diamond. And I told Bird City Comics, I go, make sure you take care of all the customers first, and then once you get those all taken care of, then you can send me my copies. But until that point, hold on to them, make sure they're all taken care of, and I'll take what's left. And that's kind of what we did. The
exclusives go from the printer to Diamond to Bird City and then to you?
I guess. I think, that's a good question.
It's a long trip. So no wonder there's damages.
Yeah, it's... and
too bad you can't cut Diamond out of the loop or something.
And I don't know why that is, to be honest, because I've done... I think they go through Diamond. I might be wrong, but... I've done exclusive through third party or the independent ones, like Aftershock. Mm-hmm. They sent it directly to me.
Right.
And so did Second Sight Publishing. They sent it directly to me. But from what I understand, and I've talked to my buddy Tom, he does a lot of Marvel exclusives. He gets his through Diamond. And It's like, I don't want to get them. Just send them directly to me. Now maybe it's because of the amount that maybe he deals with or what they deal with, so they have to go through. Because the ones I've done through Aftershock, a couple hundred, not a couple thousand. So anyway, that's our first 5 brought to you by Bird City Comics. You can go to their website. And the code Bueller on anything on their website, and you save 10%. They got a ton of exclusives. They're doing new stuff all the time. And we'll be doing more stuff together down the line. I kind of have to... I got a lot of people asking me to do exclusives right now. And so I'm trying to space them out. And of course, I got this new one coming out. So... got to take care of that one first, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, let's move on to our next topic.
Okay.
And this is the good one. This is the next part of the show.
Right.
But the topic is Substacks.
Yes.
What the hell is a Substack? Okay. I've never heard of this term until about a week ago. It's been around for a while.
Right.
But not in the comic book venue.
Yes.
This is something kind of new. What Substacks has done... They've reached out to the comic book creators and threw a bunch of money their way and said, come on over here and start making some stuff on our platform. Now, some very big names said, you know what, that's a nice check.
Yes,
and we're very
big
it.
Names.
And James Tinian IV, Donnie Cates, Ryan Stegman, some other ones.
Jonathan Hickman.
Yes.
Scotty Young.
Yeah. The list just kind of keeps on growing.
Right.
And if you were to compare this list to a list back in the 90s, it'd kind of be like an image list, what Image came from as far as those creators. As far as who's hot right now, it's the same thing in the 90s, who was hot back then, and they all went and did their own thing. That's kind of what's happening right now with the Substacks.
Right. I've read that Substack just recently did another round of like investor fundraising and raised $75 million.
Uh-huh.
And I think they're throwing all of that into getting people from all kinds of fields to use Substack.
Yeah.
So that gives you an idea of the kind of money they have to just throw around towards people who create content of various sorts.
So before we get to the comments, because we got about 8 or 9 comments here, let's kind of just talk about what this thing is.
Yeah.
And my initial thought is it's kind of like a Patreon or OnlyFans for comic book creators. Now, like I said, there's more to Substack than this comic book creators. It's basically was set up as a news type thing or a blog.
Right.
That you can subscribe to.
It's a newsletter platform that the content creator can use to send newsletters that they charge money for to subscribers.
Yes.
And Substack helps them get that money out of the subscribers rather than having each person to figure out how to do that themselves.
Yeah.
So it's kind of I think it started with like well-known reporters and columnists. If you're a big fan of this columnist, you could get their column every week in your mail and paying for it instead of them working for the newspaper or the magazine or what have you.
Yeah. So let's translate that to our comic book creators that we all talk about. Let's go ahead and hit on James Tynion IV. He's kind of the first one that kind of broke the news or right there and kind of exactly what's happening. So the big news was obviously when he said he's going to Substack, he also said that I'm quitting Batman.
Yes.
I'm leaving DC. That's the big news right there. He's leaving DC, he's quitting Batman, he's quitting the Joker or whatnot. He didn't say anything about quitting his other titles.
Right.
Because those are creator-owned titles as well, even though they're with other publishers. But he's quitting the big two. And really this affects the big two the most.
Yes, exactly.
But it doesn't mean that they can't go back. It's not, as far as what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's not an exclusive contract with Substacks. It's not like he can't... Donny Cates is doing this.
Right.
He can still do Hulk. He's on a 5-year contract with Marvel. Okay.
Yeah.
He's going to be doing Hulk that whole time, but he's also going to be doing the Substack thing as well.
Right. They may have a contract with Substack that they will do it for a certain amount of time, but it doesn't mean they can't do other stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what stuff does that include? So pretty much what you get is all creator-owned product.
Yes.
Now, here's where we run into, if you want to call it a problem, okay? And I was talking to Damien before we started. When you're a creator and you work for a big 2 company or whatnot, you have deadlines. You have bosses. You have people keeping you going online to make sure that this book comes out, to make sure that this date hits, to make sure all the pieces are moving and fitting together, the art, the lettering, all that stuff. When you are a Substack person and you take this on yourself, not to say that they can't do this, but they are their own boss. Yeah. Tynion is his own boss. Donny Cates is his own boss. Who is there besides the subscriber that's paying for the service to keep them on task, to keep them going? That's something that popped into my mind. Not to say that they wouldn't, but you know what? That is the case. They're not working for a corporation. I don't know if Substack steps in and says, hey, you need to make more content. I don't think that's what it's about. I think they can do it at their leisure, whatever they decide to do it.
I think you're right.
Yeah. And so that's one thing that popped into my mind. Okay, great. I want to subscribe to James Tynion's things. He's going to write some original content on this platform. A digital platform, by the way. That's another thing we'll discuss. A digital platform that they have said that they might or may do the physical book. But really, I think that's an afterthought after everything is said and done. And how much do you want a physical book 6 months after the story's been out? Or something like that, Right. It'll be hard to see, but right now it's a digital platform. That's what it is. And who's going to print these books? Do they get their own printer? Do they get their own people making this? Or do they license? I don't know if they can license it out to have Boom do it or something. I don't know. I don't know all the details on that. But who does the printing? Substack isn't doing the printing for them. Okay?
Right.
That's not how it works. So there's all these little parts that are very interesting to see how this works. We are in the very early stages of this. and really none of us really know. We're just kind of making this up as we go along. But we just kind of wanted to give you a heads up. This is what that platform is. It's basically a Patreon paid thing to where you can pay to support your creators that you enjoy. They're going to be making original content, original stories, newsletters as well. A lot of them have said you're only going to get information from them on that platform, but let's be totally honest. If they talk about a movie that they're working on or whatnot on that platform, within 30 seconds, everyone else is going to pick it up. It's going to be news everywhere. So for that first 30-second exclusive, yeah, you get something or whatnot, but really, you're going to hear about Bleeding Cool within an hour.
Yeah.
So,
and I think it's going to, like the point you brought up of like no editors driving them, I think it's going to eventually, if you follow all this, eventually fans will figure out which creators are self-motivated enough.
Exactly.
And which creators aren't, and we're not going to follow them anymore. Yeah. And I have paid for one of them.
Yes.
And I'm interested to see how easy it'll be for me to unsubscribe.
Yeah. So,
and then I've got unpaid subscriptions. Most of them have a free newsletter that comes out, and then a paid one. And so far as I can tell, no one has delivered any comic books to it yet.
Yes, not yet.
So what will that look like in a newsletter format?
Yeah.
Will it be a link to a PDF, or will you just read it in your email? Or, it's all totally unknown at this point.
Yeah, all unknown. We do want to say that I think they can set their own prices, but from what we've seen, I think for the most part it's like $7 or $8.
$7 is most people. I think Jonathan Hickman's going for $8.
$8, okay.
So $7 or $8, yeah.
And that's a monthly thing. You can either do that, you can do a yearly subscription, which I think you save a little bit of money.
Yes.
And then there's another one also.
There's another level, like a super supporter kind of level, where you pay like $350 a year, and they send you some variant covers. Yeah. Where do those variant covers come from?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Who's publishing them?
Yeah.
Well, how does that work?
Yeah, so that's all stuff we don't know, but it's like I said, very early stages. So there's different prices that you can subscribe. It's a monthly subscription or the yearly. You can kind of go from there. But like I said, the exclusive stuff will mainly be the stories that you read. All the newsletter stuff that they talk about, like I said, that will be released instantly on other platforms. We'll get a hold of, Donnie Cates said he's doing this.
Right.
You guys all know how that works, so that's no big deal. So let's go ahead and get into it with the first comment, and Damien, you are up first.
Okay, I've got a comment from Lucas Kramer. He says, I'm extremely supportive of creators having total control of their ideas/art, but the current structure of Substack isn't something I'm interested in at all. Several of my favorite writers are moving to that route. My current pull list to purchase these creators' physical books is already getting close to out of control. Now I have to pay a monthly subscription to each creator on top of that. It's not sustainable for a lot of folks. And I totally agree with what he's saying.
Yeah.
There. I'm also very concerned on the impact this will have on the small-time LCSs. It's already been tough for them lately. Now only the best creators are bypassing industry standards and going to this digital/subscription service. Not a fan.
So let's talk about the effect on LCSs. Obviously, these are the big creators that are driving people into the stores. Right. Hickman going on X-Men drove that to be the #1 book that year, and a lot of people will jump back on X-Men because of that.
Right.
These guys are now leaving to do their own things, and really they've always kind of wanted to do their own thing. It's not new. But the main thing is the digital format. And even like you said, even if they do exclusives, for like the premium tier or whatnot, you're not picking them up at your LCS.
Right.
They're going to be mailed to you or something like that. Or shipped directly to your house, or whatever they do with their physical media, if that's the way they go.
Right.
So it is going to have an effect on LCS. They're probably not going to be fans of it. I mean, they're obviously not fans of digital.
But it also, again, we don't know how it's going to play out. For me, like say if Tinian puts stuff out on Substack and then a month later it comes out at Boom.
Yeah.
I think as a comic fan, I'll just go buy the Boom copy.
Sure, exactly.
And I think then it won't hurt the LCS. But if it takes a year or more for it to come out in print, I think that then it will, be very painful for the retailers.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how it goes, but the thing is, and I think I'll get to this a little bit later, just because they're moving on to do their own thing, it doesn't mean Batman stops.
Right.
It means somebody else picks up the mantle of Batman, and we don't know if it's good or not, but it gives someone else an opportunity.
That's true.
James Tinian needed the opportunity to come in and show what he could do. Okay? Just like with every new artist or writer. They need the opportunity. There's not a lack of creators out there.
That's true.
There's an abundance of them.
Yes.
I mean,
There's lots of talented people.
Yeah, go to any Comic-Con, go down Artist Alley. There you go. There's tons of artists. There's tons of creators. There's tons of people pitching their own ideas and stuff like that. So it's not like they're going to be hurting for new talent. And I'm curious to see that. Maybe it's not as good, or maybe it's something brand new that you haven't seen a take it before on it and stuff. Tinian comes in and starts doing these books, Something is Killing the Children. It's like nothing you've read before. Or doing Department of Truth, or Donnie Cates does stuff where he's killing dogs in outer space and punching babies.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen very often, but he likes to do stuff like that. And, maybe we'll get someone else doing stuff like that as well. So just because they're moving on doesn't mean those other books that we all know and love stop. It just means that we get a new creative team and new ideas.
Right.
Okay, you got the next one as well.
This one's from Robin Stewart. And Robin writes, "Thanks for all the work you do every week, so I don't have to."
Okay.
The Substack, that's why Patreon's there.
There you go.
The Substack thing just isn't for me right now. I like physical media, things I can touch, not just download. Video games, movies, and comics.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really painful for all of us non-digital fans.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of a hybrid, but
Yeah.
I still prefer physical.
Yeah. I like the physical books. I'm not going to lie. But here's the thing. I was totally against digital for a long time. I have somewhat gone the other direction.
Uh-huh.
And the main reason why is because, and I'll just say it, the companies send me issues before they come out to read.
Right.
And they're digital. I don't get physical copies. I get digital copies. So I've now became accustomed to reading.
It was kind of forced on you.
Yes. And they're free. So that's kind of a big thing. So I'm a little jaded when it comes to this.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as I thought. Nothing takes the place of a physical book. But really, when these new books come out, especially on the... I'll be honest. I'd much rather read a digital Marvel book than to get that ink all over my hands and read it. Am I right?
Right. I agree there, but... You are not paying $4.99 for your digital copy.
Exactly. That's why I'm a little jaded. So.
I can pay $1 for a digital copy, but I
Yeah.
don't like paying a full price for it.
So can you pay? And you're already doing it. You said you're doing one subscriber right now.
I am doing the James Tinian one, and it's just an experiment to see what he's doing. So far, it's just been newsletters.
Has it been exclusive stuff or any? Is it?
It seems like every other newsletter is exclusive. So
Okay.
there's at least one exclusive newsletter a week, and
Sorry.
he writes good newsletters.
Are you checking every day?
No.
No.
The other thing is it fills up your inbox.
Oh, really?
Because I subscribe to the free ones from Scotty Young and
I
Scott
do too.
Snyder and other
I'm
people.
on the free one for Donnie Cates.
And I
I've got
already
tons
am
of
upset with my email inbox being too full.
You have to make a separate email for it.
Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, that's a good idea. Get a new
just
address.
for comics or whatnot. But it is a different format. It's going to be a digital format. Like I said, I don't know. They've talked about doing physical copies of the books. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be very few and far between if they do, unless it's just like a runaway thing that somebody wants to get. And I don't know if that's the case. So I think 95% of the stuff is going to stay digital. Maybe 5% gets a physical copy.
Wow.
I don't know.
So that will be bad for most of us then.
Yeah. Because I just don't see them doing. If someone is doing it for them and publishing it and putting it out and doing all that, then yeah, I see it.
Uh-huh.
But right now, it's creator owned. It's all them. It's on them.
But they could sign contracts with Boom
Yeah.
and Image, but it's hard to know.
Yeah.
Yet.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Okay.
Okay.
Next one. You got the
Another
next one as well.
I'm reading.
Yeah.
So this one is from Deep House Gent. Very interesting handle. Mr. Gent writes, regarding Substack, I'm not a big fan of digital comics, but this may be an interesting venture for creators looking to be better compensated for their work. From what I'm seeing, it doesn't appear that creators can I think it means it does appear that creators can no longer do things for the big two if they so choose. I can't guess at the long-term implications Substack could have on the comic industry, but one concern I have is the large capital they seem to be doling out to big-name writers to rope them in. Will they maintain such capital? Good question. And if not, will they manage to retain the big names they've roped in? And for subscribers, is it worth it to pay for what, in some cases, may only amount to one book project a year? I'm still learning about this platform.
Yeah, and we all are.
Yeah.
We didn't know what this was a week ago, as far as the comic book format or what this is.
Right.
So we're all still learning about this. He makes it, they are throwing out a bunch of money.
Yeah.
To get these people in there.
And on that money level, the concept is that Substack's paying them kind of upfront money, and that in theory their subscriptions will make up that money. And in the long term, Substack won't have to pay them because all of us will be paying them $7 a month, and that will add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars.
In theory.
In theory, yeah.
And we don't know how that theory, if that's going to get.
But if you have like a 1,000 subscribers a month, I think that's going to add up. Just of 1,000 will add up to like 70,000 a year or something.
Yeah.
So if you get 10,000,
yeah.
that's a very significant amount of money.
I'm pretty sure Tinian is on record for saying that the amount of money they threw at him was more than he's ever been offered before.
Yes, he said that.
And he said it was quite a bit more.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the same type of numbers were thrown at the other creators, Donnie Cates and Scotty Young and all those guys, Hickman or whatnot, you know. And I'm sure all these guys are talking behind the scenes. Like, you know, so they're
Tinian will need a lot of money to pay his artists and colorists and everything too, because he's not a one-man show. Yeah, and that's interesting how they are able to break that down and stuff. But it's the bottom line is it works if they get subscribers. It doesn't work if they don't. Yeah. And if people jump on, they're fine. If people don't jump on, they're done. They're back to Marvel and DC. If they'll get their jobs back.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure they'll probably take them back. You know, probably. They're selling a lot of books. But he also mentioned in here that they're not, they don't have to stop working for the other big two. But obviously, how many books can you write a month? And how much can you do on your own? Right. Tinian writes a lot of stuff. He's stepping away from DC. He'll probably be doing more stuff on this platform along with his other books from Boom and Image. Donnie Cates, he's still doing his Marvel stuff. He's got more projects in the work for Marvel, I think, and even more projects with Image. And he's got a ton of stuff. And when I look at him, it's like, okay, he's got all this stuff coming out. How does he do that? How does he manage all that and the Substack thing? Yeah. The time he spent on Batman is now spent on Substack. And it's just like, we'll see how that goes. Yeah. We'll see how they manage, and like I said, not having an editor. Right. Not having that, you know, hey, we need this by noon. Right. Tomorrow. Where's the script? Yeah. Hurry up. And we need to get this to such and such. Maybe they're great at project managing or whatnot. Maybe I'm way off base and they do better without that, you know. Maybe. We'll see. I'm not that way. I procrastinate all the time. Yeah, me too. But we'll just have to wait and see. Looks like I'm up finally. You can take a break now. This is from Willie Perez. He says, so is it like OnlyFans for comic creators? Yes, it's kind of like that. Well, there might be nudity. So, you know, you never... Actually, they took their shirts off on the YouTube channel. Oh, did they? Yeah. Yeah, I took a picture of it, put it on my Instagram. I'm sorry, I'm pretty lacking in the knowledge for this, but if a great writer is gone from Batman or whatever, will not stop me from reading it, or at least checking it out. Aside from that, I won't subscribe to them or whatever they ask. I'm keep moving and buy my LCS books, my pull list. Yeah, and that's like something I just said. The books still come. New people jump on the title, okay? There's new creators that get a chance to step up. You know, Joshua Williamson, great writer for DC. He's done like Flash, which was one of my favorite runs. I love to see him on a Batman run. See what he can do on there. Right. A lot of great people. Tom Taylor. Exactly. So it's like I said, there's not a lack of great people that deserve a chance. So we're not going to be hurting for that. Just the stuff that we've become used to, come common to, the Tinian writing on his stuff, the Cates writing on his stuff, or the Hickman on the X-Men. We're not going to get that. We're going to get new people or whatnot. But we'll get new weird story like Decorum from Hickman or something like that, you know, which only Robbie could explain how that works. But I don't know. It's interesting. I wonder if it'll allow the other writers to negotiate better pay. I think so. They'll say, hey, I'm thinking about Substack. What's the contract like on Batman this year? And that's another great point, because the simple fact that right now they're going between Marvel and DC, and then you have this third party offering a huge number to them, and not only saying like, hey, not only are we offering you a huge number, you can do whatever the hell you want. You got some random character in your mind you've always wanted to make up, go for it. Do whatever you want, and we're just going to sit back and let you do it. Now, that's pretty much the stance that they're doing, right? Very tempting. Yeah, so I mean, okay, I'll do that, you know, and make twice as much money. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Another thing I want to point out, though, these artists or creators, they have to now become their own promotion.
Yes.
They have to promote their own books. They have to, and there's certain creators and artists who do a better job at this than others. And some don't really promote at all.
Right.
To where if they got a new project, and here's the thing, you can't not just promote your stuff on your paid platform. That's not enough eyes getting to that.
Yeah.
Okay. And you need to step out of that area and go on YouTube videos, go on shows, go on, independent creators go on interviews all the time and stuff to talk about their book.
Yeah.
They're going to have to start doing that more to get the information out there, because they can't just rely on their paid subscribers to do it for them. It's not enough. They're not going to have the Marvel, the Boom, the Image people putting their book out. It's not going to be in Previews magazine.
Right.
They have to be their own promoter. Some are better than others at doing this. Some of the stuff you won't even know it's out, and it's been out. Frank Vogel, I'm sorry. He promotes his books like none other. Okay, he did It and Kids, and he just he promotes the hell out of it. And whenever he has a book coming out, he's out there promoting. He's hitting up everybody.
Yeah.
And I've told him, I said, dude, you're the best promoter of your product I've ever seen. He really does hit up everybody and anybody to try to promote his book, and he creates buzz about that. The other promoters or the creators are going to have to do that now from doing this, because I don't see Substack going out and advertising for them or something.
Not
like
much,
that,
so. and you don't even have that effect of someone accidentally discovering you on the news, or not the newsstand, but on the rack at the comic shop.
Yeah, it's not just sitting there.
Yeah,
and so I mean you have to pay for it ahead of time to know what it is.
Right.
So, okay, I got the next one here. This is from Kiko de Jesus. I don't know. Says, I'm thinking like what the Image founding fathers then in the 90s is what Substacks is. Exodus from 2021 is, for me, I'm watching as a bystander of comics what it does to the comic book industry. He's pretty much comparing what happened in the 90s to what this is.
Right.
There is some similarities, but there also is not some similarities. And then the thing that's not, any creator can do whatever they want right now. There's Indiegogo, there's Kickstarter, there's all these platforms where if they have an idea, even if you're not a well-known creator, you can still do it. And you've backed, you've told me about a bunch
a lot of things on Kickstarter.
Yeah. So I mean, the process of making a comic or a book right now is widely available to get that going. To where in the 90s, you had to literally get the top 10 people in comics together to make a publishing company that even compete with the other thing. So it was
a lot harder back then.
Yes, extremely a lot
They
harder.
made a huge leap to start their own company and get published and all that.
Now, anyone in their basement can put together a book and start doing a crowdfunding thing, and maybe it gets hot, and you never know. So it's a little different scenario.
And Substack is making it even easier by advancing them the money.
I have a Substack thing.
All right.
I filled it out, I guess. I don't have any tiers, but I can go on there.
You could start sending out newsletters.
Sure, I'm not going to do that. I have a platform, but I can do it. It's literally that easy. My newsletters would be like 3 words. What's up today? I'm jacked up on coffee.
You could embed your videos and charge $20 a month.
There you go. I can do that. Thank you, sir. But anyway, there are some similarities. They are leaving to go do their own thing, but they also have the opportunity to stay and do stuff with their big companies as well. So you kind of get hopefully we get the best of both worlds. That's kind of what I hope from this.
Right.
Is what we see.
So you have a good point. It's much easier for the creators now than Image.
Yeah. I mean, I could make a
book. But the question is, because there was also a big effect on the industry when all the top creators left.
Yeah.
And this time it's top writers, not top artists. So that's also interesting.
Yeah. And, but like in the 90s, they left, but they're still making books.
Right.
And there's books at the shop.
It wasn't hurting LCSs.
Yeah,
it was helping LCSs.
We boomed up to 10,000 LCSs.
Made the LCSs rich for a while.
And of course, they didn't do well after that.
After that, they were.
But, I mean, there was more books on the shelf. Okay, I got the next one here as well. This is from DC Dude. Says I think I'll be in the majority here. Happy for the creators to make a massive payday, but I'm not prepared to follow. I'll pick up any titles that may sound good if or when they come into print, or wait 11 months before subscribing for a month to read a bunch, if that's an option. That's a good point.
I think it might be an option.
There are already so many books that I can't afford to pick up that following one creator for a digital download of probably one title a month for the price of 2 books. Just not in my budget. Regardless, it can't be bad for the industry. Hopefully it means that the big 2 start paying better. He brought up a good point. Say I only subscribe 1 month out of the year. Do I get all that stuff?
I think so. At least right now, when I subscribed, I could go to the Substack website and see all the newsletters.
Yeah.
So I don't know if eventually they'll
if there's no timing on there
control for that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's like waiting for a season of a TV show to play out and then going and watching them all and binge watching them, and not paying all the monthly thing for them.
Right.
So
yeah, it's going to be the same model. I think.
Yeah. If that's the case, cheap as I am, I would probably just wait, because I wait all the time on books, and I'm like, okay, they're doing this title once a month, and it's a 6-issue title. Well, guess what? I'm waiting 6 months.
Dollar bin.
And I'm going to go and I'm going to subscribe for that 1 month and read all 6, and then cancel my subscription until the next book comes out at 6 months later.
Right. The thing is, I think the reason those things work, like with TV and stuff, is most people are too lazy and they don't cancel their subscription afterwards.
Yeah, I cancel all the time.
Well, see, you're smart and you live frugally.
Yeah. Well, I just signed up for YouTube TV again for the second time on the free account for 5 days because I wanted to watch a show last night, and I've already canceled it today.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't want to get charged $60. Anyway, but yeah, if your library becomes available, everything, if it's not time gated or whatnot, if this is available for 45 days, then people can just wait, and then get the whole thing, for a month cost and read everything, because some books are better read in a trade format.
Very, very true.
Wind was one of those books where I heard many times, issue by issue, it didn't flow very well. But if you got the trade, it made more sense. That'd be that's a book by Tinian as well.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, guess what, man? You're up. You're up.
So this one's from Simply Ian. Short term, I think Substack will be a great money boost for creators, but at the expense of collectors and the LCS. We've all only got so much money for the hobby. Longer term, however, I feel their subscriber numbers will dwindle. I assume that will happen too. How many number 1 issues do we buy, then never bother with issue 2? But with this subscription, you're going to have to cancel and lose all access to continue paying for something you don't want. If a regular comic book is delayed or canceled, my LCS doesn't still charge me. But will these creators insist you continue to pay? Yeah, and that goes back to your question of whether they can keep up their schedules and all of that. Very good comment.
I like that comment because right now, even though it just started, there's a lot of hype on it, and people are talking about it. So people are signing up right now really quickly, to get on board.
Like I did.
Like you did. Unlike I did, but the free one. But, and we'll see what that is in 6 months. Is that hype still there? Are they able to make that hype? Because it's up to them to keep that hype going. I don't know. I honestly think you'll see a big surge to it, and then I think, like you said, after the first, we die down after the first issue. That just kind of is.
Yeah. And
then I think we see that and like, oh, okay, it is what it is. Second issue, third issue, whatever it goes, and you lose that library once you unsubscribe. You don't have access to that stuff anymore.
Right.
It's a very interesting concept that they're doing. And I don't know. He talked about the collector as well. Mm-hmm. The collector's pretty much out. There's
out the window there.
There's nothing there for the collector. Unless they do actually make the physical book. And like I said, we don't know for sure what they're going to do. They've talked about doing 6 exclusives for the premium thing.
Right. That's to suck collectors in, I guess.
That's the collector suck right there. That's what that is. Is that something that they do all the time? Is that, I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. But for the majority of the stuff, there's not going to be the sense of, oh, man, hot book this week. Hey, did you hear about that? You got to get that. Yeah. That's gone. That's out the door.
Right.
And that key of the week, that's all gone. Okay, in this format. So I'm not a huge monetary collector. Most of you guys know that. You know that as well. Yeah. So to me, it doesn't make a big difference. I just like to read the book. But that is a huge, huge section of the people who buy comic books are collectors. And it's literally just saying, well, we got nothing for you.
Right.
And go get something else. And so that's going to make an effect. let's just say that's half the audience, man.
Yeah.
And that's half the audience that probably won't subscribe to you because, they're not big readers of the book or whatnot, or they don't, they're not, it doesn't have any return value besides the reading the book itself. There's no monetary value. The ideal book is you read it, you love it, it's great, and all of a sudden it's worth $20.
Yes.
That's the ideal comic, all right? Does that happen a lot? No. But when it does, it's like cake and ice cream
Right.
and everything good and shiny,
Yeah. It's a little bonus that makes comics more fun for a lot of
Exactly.
people.
All right. I got the last comment here. This is from Guns. It says, I think Substack is a big mistake by creators. They will only lose viewership and fans by moving to a platform that nobody knows about and nobody has. They create comic book stories. Stories belong in books, not apps. They need to pull an image move if they want more freedom and just make their own comic book distribution company. Okay. We talked about a little bit of the image stuff. Image is a creator-owned comics. Scouts are creator-owned comics, okay? Anybody can make those books. Those are available. So, I mean, if somebody has a product that they want to make, they can make it. Indiegogo, Kickstarter, you name it.
Right.
Go to Scout, go to Image, go to these independent publishers. If they like the book, they'll make it for you or something like that. That's always an option. They don't need to form a new company and get all together because it's already out there for you to begin. Do you think it's a big mistake by creators? I think it is a mistake for creators if that's all they do. If they just close the door and everything else, this is all I'm going to do. I'm not making anything else.
Right.
I'm not I'm not ever going to do that Spider-Man book I always talk about doing. I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to make a book for Boom. I'm not going to make a book for Image. If they do it like that, they are going to limit their audience, and it will dwindle very fast.
Yeah.
There's a balancing act in this for them to do. I get it, because it is like a Patreon. It is like a fans only. I have a Patreon, okay? It's a balancing act for what you do and how much time you put into it. And if they put the right amount of time and they keep it to a high standard that they're setting themselves, they're following through with dates when the books comes out, they're offering extras, they're promoting their books and doing all this stuff now, because now they don't work for someone. They have their own business. And it all lies on their shoulders. Everything lies on their shoulders. And if they can balance that with working with the big two or a small independent publisher like Boom or Image or whatnot, then I think that's the key to success. Because they can cross-platform a little bit, and kind of, talk about the stuff. When they're on a show talking about the Marvel book they're working on, they can say, hey, don't forget to check out our such and such or whatnot. Cutting cold turkey and not doing the other stuff, I think will be the death knell for any of these creators if they decide to do that. So do your guys self a favor. Do a little bit of everything. What you can manage. That's the thing. How much they can manage.
Right.
So,
right.
Anyway, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think my final thought is if they create the balance like you're talking about, it could be a great thing for us readers too.
Yep.
I don't know about the collectors, but because it may allow people like Tinian to do more brilliant work.
Yes.
And not be bogged down by editorial. I mean, on one hand, editors calling you and telling you hurry up with the script is good.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, they mess with you all the time,
Sure.
right? And all their events and all the other things that limit the creativity. So the more, if it can create more creator-owned work that eventually sees print, then I think it'll be great.
Yeah. So you say eventually sees print. You really want the print part, right?
I'm waiting for even though I have subbed to Tinian out of curiosity.
Yeah.
I will probably unsub and wait for the print in a little while.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We don't really know when that comes.
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
Right.
Where, like I said, this is all really new. This is all within like 14 days to start happening. I've reached out to Donnie Cates, and told him he's more welcome to come on the show to talk about it or whatnot. Because there's no literally he was on the show, then like 2 days later he announced this.
Right.
It's not like he didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay. He just couldn't say nothing. So it's like I told him, hey, okay, man, come back on the show, share this with us now, because this is kind of a big deal, and then we can get some more information from them and kind of the feeling that they have on this platform. I'm excited to let it play out and just to see what it is. If it's something really cool and they do the balance, then I think we're good. If it's something that we just don't get good stories, it's hard for me to spend more than that. I'll put it to you this way: Disney Plus is like $7 to subscribe to.
Right.
Would you rather to subscribe to Disney Plus or Donny Cates?
Yeah, I mean that's the ultimate problem. It's also about $7 to $10 to subscribe to Marvel Unlimited, and
Yes.
you get like 15 new comics a week.
Yeah.
Plus the whole back catalog. So,
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm looking at my money
Exactly.
for my digital comics, I'm going to go with the Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah.
But
Should be interesting. We'll have to follow up on this in a couple of weeks or in a month or so, and get Bob's opinion as well. What he thought. There wasn't a lot of comments on this because I think it's fairly new.
Right.
And normally we get like a couple hundred comments. There's only like 50 on this one.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying, I don't know what this is. Hopefully we answer some of your questions. If you have any more questions, let us know. Information is coming daily as far as what this is and everything. I've done some research on it myself. I know Damien has as well. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll check them and see what I can do to get back to you. But that's our topic. And something brand new and something I didn't think I'd be talking about.
yeah,
So
it was quite a surprise when it came
yeah,
out.
very, very interesting, and very happy to have Damien involved in this because he, like I said, he made a couple videos about this last week
Yeah.
talking about it. So he was on the ball. I was like, what the hell is he talking about?
For some reason, it interested me.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so that's our topic. That was brought to you by Black Box Comics, like I said before. Go to their website, blackboxcomics.net. Enter the code Bueller10. You save 10%. They got their new book in there. I always forget the name. I don't know if the D is silent. It's Gin Hunter, but I think it's D Gin Hunter, but I think the D is silent. I don't know for sure. If I got it wrong, I read it. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, it's like another version of genie, right? Djinn
I don't
is
know.
a kind of fancy name for a genie.
Here, look at it. Look at
Djinn.
No, that's not it.
Or Jinn.
That
I don't
one
know
right
how
there.
it's pronounced. Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool cover. It's a fancy word for genie.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's why I have you on. That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm learning something new every day.
In theory, would be coming out of a lamp or something.
Yeah, hell of a lamp. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and switch gears, and we'll go to our final five, brought to you by Bird City Comics. Go ahead, Damien. You're up first yet again because you're the guest. So
it's nice to be the guest.
There you go.
This time I've got just 5 covers from this past year that I liked in particular. This one is from The Dreaming Waking Hours, #1.
Nice.
It's got William Shakespeare on it. And, I love all of the covers from this series. This is Colonel Weird, Cosmogog. That's a real beauty.
Nice. Dark Horse goodness.
Dark Horse. Another Dark Horse, Norse mythology.
You like that one?
I love Norse mythology.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. P. Craig Russell art, based on Neil Gaiman novel.
Nice.
And this is a crazy Image one called Ludocrats, which, much to my shock, I really loved reading that.
Yeah.
It was a crazy, crazy, bizarre comic.
Crazy is a good word to describe it.
And one of the best comics from this past year also was We Live, and
Nice.
I love that cover. All the covers of We Live were great too.
Have you gotten all of them so far?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I got the free comic book day one
Nice.
and everything. Yeah,
Very cool.
highly recommend that one.
All right, I think I'm up. These are more books I picked up from MegaCon. This is actually Iron Man number 46. This was a gift from Steve Whiting.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful yellow cover. I love the yellow backgrounds for those. Nice looking book. The next one is the Recount number, I think this is number 4. This was given to me by Jonathan Hendrick. He's a creator of this book. He autographed it for me. He said, "Thank you, Bueller." I talk about his books all the time. He's a really good dude, too. And I love that book. This is also another one of his books, autographed it as well. This is called Quicksand. I haven't had a chance to read that yet, but I'm going to do that over the next couple of days. Awesome creator guy. I really like this guy. This is another book that was given to me by Steve Whiting. He actually won this at the con. This is like a con exclusive Shannon Mayer cover. I don't know what book it is. It's obviously probably Harley Quinn or something like that, but it looks really cool. Let me set these down for my last one because my last one is kind of in the case. And I showed this on the live stream, but this is my Venom #1 blank cover MegaCon 2021 edition. And this is the book where I have all of the people who watch the show or fellow YouTubers or fans or creators I know personally. I have them sign this book for me. And it's something I do every time I go to a Comic-Con. And this one, there's a few dozen signatures on there. It's just awesome. And all the days, except for like the first day I didn't have it with me. People I run into, like, hey, I like your show, I watch it. I'm like, hey, can I get your autograph? And they're always a little like, what, you want my autograph? I'm like, yeah, it's something very special for me. And so I got a handful of these, and I love them. They're my pride and joys in my collection. And every Comic-Con, like I said, I go to, I do this. And they're awesome. So
that is a great idea. I think
Yeah.
I'll copy that someday.
Yeah, I figured you would. As long as I can sign it.
You can sign it.
Okay,
of course.
good. So anyway, that's first 5 brought to you by Bird City Comics. Like I've said many times, go to their website. They still have the Moon Knight exclusive available. I think the regular trade dress copies. And the code Bueller, save 10%, all that good stuff. Just awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to our, like I said, we're not doing our Was It Good segment or the Robbie's Pick of the Pick thing. We're going to do the Honest Mystery Box reviews.
Okay.
Because anybody can do this.
Yes, it was my first time.
There you go. And you know what? He did a pretty good job. This Honest Mystery Box Reviews is brought to you by Scout Comics, another place where you can go. Enter the code Bueller, save 10% on all their stuff, and they have some really cool stuff. They got this damage box that I picked up. They actually gave it to me.
Uh-huh.
And it's 25 comics that are, quote, damaged for $20.
Wow, perfect for a reader.
Yes, and they're awesome. And they put a D on the back of the barcode and stuff, but they're not bagged and boarded. But there's so much. I love it. I'd buy it every day of the week.
That sounds like a great deal.
Not a problem. And you get 10% off on that as well. So there you go. We're going to be reviewing some of their products very soon. They're going to be sending me a bunch of stuff. But this time around, we're doing another Comic-Con mystery mail call. We did one a couple months ago, and that was the one with the Something is Killing the Children book, and that book was spiking at the time. And that covered the whole price of the book and then some. So I wanted to do another one and kind of give a nice balanced option as far as like when it comes out and maybe a book hasn't spiked as much as what that one did. So that's why we're doing the Comic-Con mystery mail call, which I have actually right here. Let me set this down. And like I said, this is Damien's first time reviewing this, and then we got different categories where we review it. Let me just kind of give you a rundown of the box. The box, you usually get 5 to 6 books in the box that cost $35.99 plus $7 shipping, so $42.99 total cost for the box. You get some prints and some bonuses in there, custom prints that he has done, which is pretty cool. And this is a monthly subscription box. It comes out once a month. You subscribe to it, and you can have it keep on going, or you can cancel whenever you like. But anyway, let's go ahead and start with the first thing. The first thing we have on here is packaging and shipping, and that's a category that we like to focus on. It does come in this custom box. The mystery mail call box is the Gemini mailer, which is what I tell everyone to use. The shipping on this is $7 shipping, so it's actually about $1 less than what the cost to ship this is, because it's around $8 with tax. So on that, I gave it a $10, or I gave it a perfect 10. Custom box shipping and shipping within $1 of actual cost. Damien, what did you give it?
I also gave it a 10, and I really like the box that it comes in. So I don't know. I thought it was a very nice package.
Yeah, and
well
we're
worth
actually
your money.
We're actually not showing it here, but they actually come in a black plastic bag as well.
Oh, okay, nice.
To keep them so if it rains, or we're in the Pacific Northwest, if it rains, the books won't get wet. I already took them out of the box, so whatever.
Oh, that's a really smart idea.
Anyway, great box. Love these. Actually saw them before he started using them. Said I gave him my approval. I was like, yeah, those are pretty cool. So there you go. Awesome. Easy score to give. We gave it a 10 last time as well. Let's move on to the monetary value, and this is pretty much where people really look at a mystery box and say, okay, did I get my money's worth?
Right.
And I'll run down the books and show you what we got, and I'll tell you the values of the books. The first one is The Boys #1, the Virgin variant. This is the Comic-Con exclusive. Very cool book. This one right now sells for an average, and these are average sold prices of $25. Marvel Voices Pride #1, which is a brand new book, and this is also a Comic-Con exclusive. This one has an average selling price of $10. Just so you guys know, this book just came out. It has a $10 cover price on it by itself. So it's even though it's an exclusive variant, it's only selling for the cover price. So anyway, but it's worth $10. Claire and the Dragons, also a Comic-Con exclusive. He is now putting in a children's book in every box, which is kind of cool. This one has an average selling price of $5. And then he has a couple random books in here also. We have Moon Knight #50, and I love this cover. It's got a little die cut on the front there. That one's really neat looking. Love the cover. That one sells for around $4. And the last one is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #55, the 1 in 10 variant. It only sells for about $3. So sometimes those 1 in 10s don't keep their value very much.
Right.
But $3. So anyway, if you take these books and you add up the price, you're looking at $47 in actual sold prices. Like I said, I do the average. You can find some of these books, like the $25 one, you can find it for sold as high as $35, and you can find it for as low as $20. It ranges, so I do try to take an average and put it out there.
That's a good way to do it.
So for me, $47 worth of value. The box itself with shipping costs $43, so they actually made about $4. I gave it a 10 or a 9, and the reason why, or 10 or a 9, I'll actually get to that a little bit later. There's something else that's in the box that I'm on the fence about, and I talked about it with Damien. We're going to talk about it when we get to that part, whether the value should be included. But a 9 is a full value of the box, which it did. A 10 is more value, like 20% more. So I gave it, I'm going to go with a 10. That's my initial thoughts on the box. So Damien, what did you give it?
I gave it a 10. I would actually, 10.25 or something.
Yeah.
I thought the value was quite good. I was impressed.
Yeah, I a lot of times do price low when I do the thing.
And even the books that weren't worth as much, they don't feel junky.
No.
They feel like they'll hold their value or possibly go up at some time in the future.
Exactly. Okay. Next category is condition of books and bags and boards. He advertises all the books at being in near mint condition. They are. It's really easy to grade this. They're brand new bags and boards. They're in great shape. I've never had an issue with this. So I gave it a 10 exactly as described. New bags, new boards. Damien?
Same here, yeah.
Pretty
obvious.
Very easy to do that one. The next one is the non-monetary value. And this, if you guys remember when we reviewed it last time, this is where I gave it a lower score. Because I thought the 3 extra books that were in the box were weren't that great. And I said, hey, Tom needs to step up.
Right.
And put a little bit of books in there. And I'll tell you the guys this. Tom watched that. Tom and I are friends. He called me the next day. And you know what he said to me? He says, I appreciate your feedback. Because nobody ever says anything. If they don't like it, they just cancel.
Right.
But he goes, nobody ever really says anything to me about it. So he goes, thank you for letting me know that those books need to step up a little bit. And honestly, in this box, and this is a random box, they are. The insert books that are in here, the Moon Knight for one, I like that book.
Yeah, that's
and the other one is a 1 in 10 ratio variant. Mm-hmm. So where the area where he needed to step up in, he did.
Yeah.
Whether that's a coincidence, I don't know. They are random, so you never know. But I got to grade it on what's in front of me. And comparing to the last one I graded, it stepped up quite a bit. So for me, I gave it a 10. All books are well known. Number ones, good stories, and, just characters that I know and would like to have in a mystery box. What did you give it?
I gave it an 11.
11.
I was impressed by that you get 3 exclusive covers. Those have aside from the monetary value, it just feels special.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's not just some grab bag random box.
Yes.
It's a very cultivated, special box. So I gave it an 11. I also think it's great that these reviews are helping people producing boxes, not just consuming.
Yeah. I like you use the word cultivate, because that's actually the word that Tom uses all the time. He's trying to make a box, cultivate it to his audience, make something good that they would want. And honestly, making 3 exclusives, that's not cheap.
Yeah.
It's not like just picking up 3 random books.
And I know from you it takes a lot of effort, right?
Yeah.
It's not just pick up the phone and say, get me a new
Exactly.
cover.
It takes a lot of effort, a lot of time, and it's not cheap to make. And especially when you're dealing with Marvel, and they have a minimum of thousands of books you have to order, and you're stuck with a $9.99 cover book, and you have to pay whatever that is and stuff. So I mean, it's not cheap to put 3 exclusives in a box, and this month that's what he did.
Yeah.
So
it feels like you get something special from Tom that you won't get anywhere else, and
very
I really
much so.
appreciate
And
that.
I like that. I like that. That's something I've said before. I like knowing what I'm going to get more so than not knowing what I'm going to get. So more than half the box, I know what I'm getting.
Right.
And the other 2 books that are in there, I was pretty happy with those as well. So last time I wasn't. Last time I was like, oh, those books weren't very good. The next section we have, did it deliver as advertised? I gave it 10, exactly as advertised. He does a great job advertising it. He pretty much tells you exactly what you're going to get, and he follows through with that every month. You know what you're going to get. That's what I just said. I know what I'm getting in the box, plus a couple extra books. I'm pretty satisfied with it. What did you give it?
And I gave it a 10 also.
Okay. So we're pretty close to scores there, so it's kind of nice.
It's kind of
yeah,
we're in unison here.
And here's the thing: this is the first time he's seen the grading system, and I think that the grading system.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Is a very easy to follow, well thought out.
Yeah,
thing. You could have been a teacher, with,
there you go. And like I said, it doesn't matter whose box it is. It doesn't take that into account at all. Yeah. It could be Comic Tom's. It could be the Spider-Man booth. It doesn't matter whose box it is. It's the same grading platform for every box. It doesn't matter what the name is. If they don't hit the criteria, they don't get the grade.
And I have never even looked at a mystery box before, and I'm still able to grade.
Not even a Bueller
criteria.
box?
Not even a Bueller box.
Jesus.
Sorry.
That's all right. They're retired now. They are retired. Okay, the next category is called the bonus and extra category, and this is where I kind of where I reference the value. I'm running into a little bit of a question or whatnot.
Yeah.
He did give you normally get a custom print, which are just great. Sometimes you get one or two.
It was a nice little print.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. But the thing I'm running into, and he's putting these in every box. And first things first, it's from Scout Comics. It's called a comic tag. And what it is, there's a monetary value to this. It costs money. It's $6.99 or $5.99. It is a digital copy of this trade paperback. And they sell these. I mean, they're actually going to be marketing these to 7-Eleven stores, at your comic shops, all this stuff, okay?
So there's like a code on there, and you get a whole digital trade from it.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Now, should this be included in the value of the box? Should the $6 that this costs be added to the $47 that the value of the comic books were? I don't know the answer, to be totally honest. Sometimes I kind of lean yes, but I can hear an argument of no. But this is more than just a sticker.
Yeah, I would add it. I would add its value.
You think
personally?
So? Yeah.
Since I like to read both digital and physical.
And in order to do that, you'd have to buy it to read this book.
Now, I don't know if I want to read that book.
Yeah. Well, you don't know what you want to read all of those.
So that's kind of the random factor, which.
But here's the thing.
But if it adds a little value, I would.
You know that you're going to get this in the box. You know that you're going to get this actual trade paperback in the box.
He announces which.
Yes, he
trade
announces
paperback.
it in there.
Okay.
He actually does like exclusive covers to this, or it's like a card or whatnot. Mm-hmm. I don't know the collectability of that. That doesn't.
You never know. Someday in the future, it might.
Yeah, you never know. But you actually do know what trade you're going to be getting in the box. So that, if you know, I want to hear from you guys. Should that be part of the value? At this point, I did not factor it in. Okay, my total value of the box, I did not factor it in. But should it be factored in, or partial, maybe half the value, or something like that? Because it is something that has value to it. It is a book. There is a price tag associated with it. It's not just a print or a sticker, and it's an actual book that you're going to sit there and want to read or take advantage of. So I think Damien and I are kind of on the same. We don't really know the right answer.
Yeah, but I'm leaning towards counting it, and I also think it adds to the non-monetary value. I mean, I already gave it an 11, but you add this in, and my 11 feels stronger because I get more things to play with.
There you go. You definitely do. And this is the first time you're really looking at this box, right?
Yeah. No, I might start looking at mystery boxes more.
There you go.
I just figured they're like grab bags, and I've done that, and it's fun for me, a grab bag's fun when you open it and then you don't read the comics.
Yeah. There you go. Awesome, man. So my total score was with the bonus, because I gave it 2 for bonuses, was a 52. What'd you give it?
And I gave it a 53.
53. So we gave it a total of 105 out of 100, which is an A plus because it got bonuses, plus it got a couple of 11s because we go to 11 because Spinal Tap and everything. So really, even
kind of an A plus then.
Yeah, exactly. Even though this Comic Con box, didn't have the big, huge key the last one did with the $50 book,
right?
This one actually scored better than that one, which I find very interesting.
Because the whole package was satisfying. The package was very Everything
satisfying.
in it was good.
Yeah. And so, hats off to Tom.
Yeah.
He's spent a lot of time trying to make this have value, and looking at what worked and looking at what don't work. And I think he's finally come to a point to where what you're paying for the box, you're getting that value from the books. And it took a while to get to that point. So he's got there. And I could keep doing these every month, but I'm not going to. If you want to send them to me, you can. But
got to move on to others.
Exactly. But congratulations, man. If you guys are interested in the Mystery Mail Call, I'll put a link down in the description. Go check it out. He's got a new exclusive like Wolverine on it this month. Oh. Looks really cool. And, honestly, Tom has really good taste in books, so he does a really good job when he puts these together. But, yeah, A+ for the Comic Tom Mystery Mail Call. Awesome.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Sweet.
All right, let's move on to our last segment. And our last segment is just our random thoughts. Brought to you by our Patreon members, our lovely Patreon members, not our Substack members.
I'm one of them.
He's one of the Patreon. He's one of the very first. And apparently, I didn't know this. You can switch the price on what you pay.
You can write in anything you want.
I did not know that until this guy took advantage of that feature, which was pretty cool. So thank you very much, sir.
I'm glad I could do that.
All right, let me set these down. So first off, as far as random thoughts, let me just talk about kind of what's been going on lately. We haven't done this video in a couple weeks because I've been out of town. I was first in Washington State, doing the Comic-Con there. I was literally home for one day, Monday, and then I left Tuesday on the red eye to go to Florida for about
and
6
we got a lot
days.
of live streams from Washington, but not from Florida.
Yeah, the internet sucked.
Oh, it was the internet's problem.
And because trust me, if I could get a signal, I would be live streaming all the time. But the internet there sucked, and then they had a paid internet service that was $80 a day. And I was like, screw that.
And that probably will suck too.
Yeah, I was like, it's not going to be any better. So I did not get any service, so that's
I was almost wondering if something went wrong because there were no live feeds from that.
We did do live feeds from the hotel on other people's channels.
On other people, okay.
Yeah, later that night. But anyway, let me talk about the Comic-Cons in general real fast. And the reason why I went to MegaCon. The reason why I had planned on going to New York. I've heard word that they're canceling stuff. I've heard word that the cons possibly after this month or September might get canceled. The bigger ones, the New York, the C2E2s, the Baltimore ones, stuff like that.
Right.
When I got word, and the word I'm hearing are from some publishers saying that they're pulling their people. They're not going because of what's going on with the whole variant of a different sort.
Right.
We always talk about variants, but this is a
collectible variant.
This is not a collectible. This is not the variant you're looking for.
You do not want to collect that variant.
This is not the one you were looking for. Anyway, so I got word that the possibility of these closing. Don't quote me on that. I can't guarantee that's happening. But that's why I was like, hey, MegaCon is literally like next week. I have some friends down there. I had a credit for a plane ticket. I called my buddy and said, hey, would you be able to put me up? He's like, yeah, that'd be awesome. I made it happen really fast. Got a ticket. Called MegaCon. They were able to give me a couple passes, which is just awesome. So thank you, MegaCon, for making that happen. Thank you to all my friends that were down there. Steve Whiting, he's the guy who put me up, and his family. They're just fantastic. I had a tremendous time. But I want to talk about Comic-Cons in general fast. Should they happen the rest of this year? I mean, that was something I was thinking about when I was in Florida, which is said is the hotbed of what's going on right now.
Right.
This is the second time I've been to Florida since COVID. I was there in December, and I wasn't even vaccinated then. Right. And I've been there again now, and I'm fully vaccinated. Okay?
Yeah. So some people probably think you're crazy.
I am a little crazy, but I have a mask on. I can follow all the rules and stuff. But the plane rides is what I worry about the most.
You said Florida's not as bad as people think.
No. Not, especially back in December when I went there, because the whole portrayal of Florida as far as almost like a lawless town or whatnot.
Right.
Everywhere I went when I was in December, people had masks on. I got my temperature taken in every restaurant I went to. Everything was open. I mean, they had movie theaters were open, but masks were required everywhere. Temperatures were taken everywhere I went. And I thought they did a really good job at it.
So the news gives you a real distorted view.
Yeah, and also the same thing. Going down there and staying with Steve, this is back in December. Steve thought Portland was burning to the ground.
Right, it's the same thing here.
Yes.
Yeah. Portland is
Are you
fine.
okay? And we're like, Portland is not burning to the ground. It's like it's a very small section.
Yes.
And a very small group of people that were just causing problems and mischief.
Yeah, I never saw a single protest.
Yeah, you live in Portland.
I know. I'm very close. I'm a mile away from where the protests were.
Yeah, and it's just like, so no, Portland's not burning to the ground. We do have our problems, just like every city has their problems or whatnot.
Yeah, we have real problems, but not that.
Yeah, so, I mean, but his interpretation was, man, are you okay?
Yeah, and that's what everyone thought around the country.
Exactly, and we were perfectly fine. Yeah. I remember the one thing was oh, they burned the police station to the ground, and literally it was a trash can.
Yeah.
Like the size of a little paper thing, about 2 feet tall, and there was a paper that was on fire inside the trash can. You could have put it out with a cup, with this cup of coffee.
Yeah, I think a few mattresses got burnt during the year.
And the quote was, police station burns to the ground. Anyway. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we're doing okay. So anyway, the media does their own thing.
So same thing with Florida then.
Yeah. So back to the Comic-Cons.
Mm-hmm.
Should they, what's your guys' thoughts? Should they call off the rest of the year? I've been lucky to go to a few. I know people are really looking forward to going to New York, going to C2E2. But should they happen with what's happening right now? I mean, you just told me that you have tickets to Rose City, but you're literally on the fence.
Rose City is what, in 3 weeks or 2 weeks? And things are just changing so rapidly right now. And I'm not too worried about myself. Like I'm a healthy, I believe, person that's not in the danger zone, and I do have the shots, but I do worry about accidentally passing it on to a family member or a neighbor. We've got like an 8-year-old living next door to us who can't get her shots. I'll probably go and not stay so long just because I also get tired of wearing a mask, and we have a mask mandate that's back in effect here in Oregon. And
that's in Florida. When I was there, you had to wear a mask, even though the governor of that state said, "I'm not requiring anyone to wear a mask."
Right.
MegaCon took a stance and said, "No, if you want to come here, everyone has to wear a mask." And
I think most businesses want masks because otherwise, too many people will stay away.
Yeah.
But like I went on a trip, and so like I was on an Amtrak train for 9 hours, wearing that mask the whole time. My ears got so sore. So I'll probably go to pop in, and then we're talking about maybe some of the YouTube people meeting up for beers after the con, and so I'll definitely go do that.
Can I go to that?
Yeah, you're invited.
Thanks. I didn't know. First I heard of it.
John is planning to talk to you about it on Wednesday.
Who?
John Stout.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of the organizer.
Oh, nice.
So anyway, that's my current plan, is to go but do a light sort of version of the con. And more because I just don't like wearing masks. But I also do kind of worry. It's really hard to tell whether you with vaccinations can pass it on to other people or not.
And I want to say this real quick, and I'm not trying to make any type of statement, but people have asked me, and then my buddy Steve, he's like, have you had any side effects about getting your shots and stuff? And I've had both vaccines. I've had both doses or whatnot. I didn't have any side effects. I was perfectly fine. And I'm just sharing that with people because I know people are out there like, I heard this, I heard that, or somebody got sick or whatnot. I just want to share my personal experience. I recommend getting the vaccine. I'm not telling people what to do. I recommend getting it, but I just want to share with you guys. I got both mine. I was perfectly fine. I didn't have any side effects whatsoever. I know Bob, he got his. He was feeling a little ill the first day, and then he was fine after that, after his second shot.
Yeah.
A few people have told me the same thing. But that's just my personal experience. I just want to share that. Maybe that comforts you. Maybe it doesn't matter. But that's just my personal experience. Like I said, I'm not telling you to go get vaccinated. I wish you would, just for the safety of people and stuff like that. But I'm not here to, you guys understand what I'm saying.
Right. My wife and I both got a little sleepy for about 6 hours.
Sleepy readers?
Yeah, we weren't reading. We were just sleeping. But yeah, we got sleepy, and I got some other kind of shot that you have to get when you're over 50, like a year ago, and that had much worse effects.
Oh, really?
But that was just everybody who turns 50 should get that shot.
I don't know what that is.
I forget what it was called. Some weird name. But anyway, so as far as shots go, it's not a bad one for me.
Yeah.
And I've been getting shots all my life.
Yeah.
So I think most people
and
have.
taking shots.
Yeah. Oh, shots of coffee.
Exactly. I'll take an extra shot. But anyway, as far as Comic-Cons go, I just got back from Florida. That's supposed to be the hot spot of the thing. I was perfectly fine. I felt good. I'm back. It's now been about a week. I feel fine. I hope that we get the rest of the Comic-Cons this year, because really it's such a bore when they're not around.
Yeah.
And if you do have to wear a mask, just do it. If that's what they're asking people to do, just do it and be comfortable. Enjoy yourself when you're there and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that the C2E2 happens. I'm hoping that
Rose City
happens. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's happening. It's only a couple weeks away. But Emerald City, I'm hoping that New York City, I'm hoping all those happen. And I hope people enjoy the con scene again. I don't have any plans on doing any more cons this year, but you never know. I might get invited to come to one, and if I do get invited, if it's going on, I'll make an appearance and do my thing. So,
if COVID didn't exist, I might have been going to Emerald City this year, but I don't think I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I don't know about Emerald City myself. It's such a
it's a really crowded one.
Yeah, it is. If I can get somebody to drive. I hate driving around Seattle. It's horrible.
Yeah, I like to take the train to Seattle if I can.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I want to talk about this thing, which is really cool. That book is in this really hard case, and it's called a comic cloak. And I actually have their little advertisement thing right there. And it's a self-adhesive case. I mean, if you don't want to grade your book and set it in the like CGC, this is an option for a very heavy-duty case for a nice book. And you know what? This gentleman was at the MegaCon. He actually flagged me down. He actually watches the show, and he knows that I'm not a huge fan of grading books to get them slabbed. Right. He's like, "Hey, check this out. You might like it." And I loved it. I used it all weekend. I had put this book in there, and I walked around with it all weekend. And it just seals. Let's see if I can just kind of open it up real quick here.
And it's clear on both sides, so you can see the back cover if you've got a cool back cover.
Yeah, so it just opens like that, and it comes apart like that, and you can take the book out. I think you can get them in Silver Age or whatnot, you know. And I'll let Damien kind of look at it there and know it's open. But it's pretty sturdy. I like it, and you know, it's I enjoy it. For all my keyer books that are maybe more valuable, I put them in there, not a problem.
Yeah, I think it would be a good way to display books or just enjoy your... Because I'm not big into slabbing either, especially now that I hear the long waits and everything
like
for
a year.
CGC. It just seems crazy.
Yeah.
I like this little hole here for two reasons. I think you could use it to hang it.
Yes.
But also, I think it's good for your comics to breathe.
Yes.
Because paper has some moisture naturally in it, and if it's completely sealed... it will eventually, you know, get that kind of moldy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So I think it's a well-designed case.
Yeah. So you guys can go to their website. Let me read it off to you here real quick. It's comiccloak.com, and you can check out their website. The guy sold out. All the ones he brought, he sold every one of them. He was actually sold out by Sunday. They were all gone. I went back to his booth, and he was gone because he didn't have any more product. But if you guys like this product, let me know. Go check it out, and maybe we can work out a deal with them to where we can get the Bueller viewers maybe a little Bueller code discount.
That would be
stuff
nice.
Going on. But I really enjoy it, and this is the type of option that I enjoy. Because
that would be something I would, you know, put my top 15, 20 favorite books in.
There you go. That's exactly what I would do. Okay, so I wanted to cover that. What else I want to cover really quick? Oh, the Elvira interview. Did you watch that?
Lucky dog. Yes, I did.
Did you like that, didn't you?
I thought it was an excellent interview.
I was a little nervous, but I had fun.
It makes the Donny Cates interview look less exciting then.
Yeah, it does.
It was a cool interview.
Donny Cates cool.
Elvira,
you guys were awesome. The people who watched that in response to that video has just been fantastic. They were promoting their Kickstarter campaign for her newest book, which was ended last Friday, the 13th, and it blew it out of the water. They raised like $23,000 in 2 days since that video came out. They were at like 50,000. They ended up at 73,000, and that's a huge number. And a lot of that was from our audience that watched that interview with Elvira, and she was just a doll. And
pros, don't waste your time on other channels. Come to Bueller.
Yeah, I was a little nervous, but I was like, I had the opening line already down. I was gonna my opening thing was because I can remember seeing the cutout at the grocery store.
That was a great way to open.
And I'm like, I'm going to go with that. Because I totally remember that. I totally remember just sitting there staring at that for an uncomfortable amount of time. And people were like, what's wrong with that kid? You know. But, you know, all the different things I think about her growing up and just popping up, you know, and for her to do that character for 40 years. Yeah. And her own character, her own creation. She's had the rights to it from day one. It's popped up in so many different scenarios, you know, and I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And she looks phenomenal.
She looks great, and she has a great sense of humor at the same time.
Yes, and she knows what it is.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing.
Right. Yeah.
She's not like, you know, and, you know, she knows what her assets are, and she's totally okay with it.
Right.
And she's just very charming. We talked a little bit afterwards, and can't wait to meet her in person. So she does have like an autobiography that's been done for like 2 years. She's been wanting to put it out, but they haven't been doing book tours.
Oh, okay.
She wants to do a book tour. So
Right.
whenever that comes out, I'm looking forward to picking it up.
that would be cool.
She's got some stories.
Yeah, and I want to find that Vincent Price meets Elvira book.
Yeah, that one's out right now.
And you said you had trouble finding it at Tifa, and I don't think I've seen it either. So
Yeah, you might have to just go.
you have to order it online or
Straight
something.
through Dynamite. They should have it. Now, that being said, I also want to. The reason why she was on the channel is because I'm working with Dynamite as well. And Dynamite is puts out her book, and Dynamite is putting out my next exclusive variant. The Indiegogo campaign hasn't started, but you can sign up for the newsletter, and then at the first of next month, I'm pretty sure that's when we're gonna start the campaign.
Right.
The artist who's doing the cover, he's busy at the moment right now, and then he's gonna start working on in September, and that's when more information will become available. But do me a favor, I'll leave a link to the Indiegogo to the newsletter. You can sign up. It doesn't cost any money. Just give them the email address, and they'll send you the information.
Right.
When it comes out, you'll be the first ones to know. So there's no obligation for you to buy anything. I hope you do buy it once you see it and like it and stuff, but this is just information. So sign up for the newsletter. Helps them, kind of gauge, the interaction between it and stuff. But I'm pretty excited for this one. This will be a first for me, and I got done telling Damien what it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited from what I
He's
heard.
like, I might buy that one. So very cool. One last thing. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be doing auctions this week, probably starting Friday or this weekend. And I'm going to be selling a bunch of independent stuff. I showed some pictures of some boxes on my Instagram. I got mainly newer stuff, but some older stuff as well. So please be checking that out. This is the Bueller collection I'm selling. I'm selling the Bueller collection. And Something's Killing Children, I almost have the full run of that. Autographed, Department of Truth, Walking Dead, Spawn, you name it, it's in there.
Yeah.
Some really good stuff, some hot stuff. We Live, I got those in there.
Oh, sweet.
You like that book.
And I think they're going to hold their value for a while.
They are. They're doing really well. So,
and a YouTube auction is fun to watch, right? It's not just going to buy books. You get to hang out and
you get to hang out,
watch the books come and go and stuff. Yeah,
and hopefully I make a lot of money.
Yeah,
that's the main. I'm trying to make a lot of money. I got something I want to buy next month. And it's a pretty penny, so that's why we're selling these. Selling the Bueller collection.
$1,000 a piece.
Maybe that's. I don't know. If you guys want to pay $1,000 for this book right there, let me know. I'll sell it to you. So anyway, I'm looking forward to doing auctions again. It's been like almost a year since I've done them, and I might have someone help me. I don't know for sure, but usually they go pretty quick and stuff. And I'll probably start off with small lots and then work my way up. But there's Marvel books, there's DC books in the coming weeks, keys, runs. I mean, you name it. I got my Alex Ross Timeless variant set. I'm going to sell that. I got first appearances of Mary Jane, first appearance Rhino. I mean, first appearance Falcon. It's all got to go. I'm only keeping a handful of stuff. Mainly the stuff I'm keeping that were gifts from people. And I want to keep those. So those are special. So
this is all to get Bueller on the road.
All to get me on the road. And by the way, your guys' response to the Bueller Amazon wish list for the van life has been fantastic. A lot of you guys out there, and you guys know who you are, very generous, wonderful people. For the most part, everything I absolutely needed has been purchased for me. And so I actually added stuff to the list because people recommended me to add more stuff to the list.
Okay, cool.
They're like, you're going to need a gift card to Taco Bell. So I put that on the list. Don't forget about mosquitoes. So I put something on the list for that. The majority of the stuff that I initially had on the list, I think pretty much 99% of it has been purchased.
Right.
And you guys are just awesome. Thank you, everyone. And I mean everyone. From the items that were $1 to the items that were $1,000. The people that stepped up and make this possible will not be forgotten anytime soon. So thank you all for doing that. I was just showing my buddy, who's not a comic guy, yesterday what you guys did. He's like, oh my god. He's not into this community at all. He's like, what a bunch of nerds. I go, get the hell out of here, man.
We're the best nerds.
Yeah, he goes, can I put something on your list? I go, yeah, now you want to be part of it. I go, nope, get out of here. So anyway, very cool. Anyway, that's the random thoughts. I want to take a minute and talk about my guest here real fast. Damien, like he said earlier, he's been doing this for 9 years. He's got a channel, Sleepy Reader 666. Why don't you tell him about your channel a little bit and what you do on a weekly basis?
Well, I kind of now consider it as a comic book diary of my reading and collecting. It's very purposefully informal, and I'm there to meet fellow collectors and also just to kind of share my thoughts. And yeah, check it out. Subscribe if you want. Don't subscribe if you don't want. It doesn't bother me.
There you go.
I feel very good with the audience I already have.
There you are.
But if I love to meet new people who want to chat about comics, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah, and he does that one video. It's my favorite video that you do because Damien's a reader just like myself.
Yeah.
And he reads all his comics that he gets and he ranks them pretty much. If he picked up 12 comic books, he ranks them from 12 to 1.
And I do a countdown.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's a very helpful review process that you do. If he's only picked up 8 books, it's only 8 books. If it's 20 books, another day you had 2 weeks worth.
I did 26 books in a row.
There's a lot of, it's kind of like a Robbie type moment, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, and Damien has good taste in books because there's a nice variety. You're not just going to get Marvel or DC. You're going to get a little bit of everything dipped in there. I've noticed. Big Dark Horse fan. You know, he covers a lot of their books to where you don't see a lot of those covered that much. So a good variety of books to choose from what he reviews on his channel. So check that out. That's a weekly video, right?
Yeah.
Is that called something?
I keep changing the title. I either call it Comic Book Thoughts or Comic Book Countdown.
I like the countdown.
And it's very interactive. Like some of the books I get, I heard about, you know, Bob and Bueller talking about, and other times from Robbie and all sorts of other people.
Yeah.
But and hopefully some of you out there will decide to do the same kind of videos.
There you go.
It's just a conversation.
And you always have like a weird thing you're drinking.
Yes.
He just drinks weird
I'm always
stuff.
drinking something weird.
Yeah, it is weird. I went to his house and gave him whatever the hell that was.
I tortured you with some kombucha.
Kombucha, yeah. I was like, I poured it out on the grass when he wasn't looking. I knew that. I was like, what is this? Whatever. But he's all...
You asked for it.
I did, because, you know, my son has been drinking it.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, what is this? And I was like...
It's a very acquired taste.
Yeah. So anyway, he's introduced me to a few different things over the... the K-pop or whatnot.
Oh yeah, my daughter talked with you about K-pop.
Yeah, so he introduced me to kombucha and K-pop on the first visit to his house.
We'll have to have you over again
was not
and give you some
expecting
weird
either of
drinks.
those, but it was a good time. Damien, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
For filling in for Bob, and you know what? It's been a long time coming, and I'm very happy to have a fellow. What do we call ourselves? The Portland Comic Crew or whatnot?
Yeah, Portland Comic Crew, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of up in the air.
PCC, Portland Community College.
Yeah, that's the one it was. But it's been a pleasure having you on board, man. And I just want to say thank you for everything. And you're welcome back anytime. Even if you do have an allergic reaction, you can still come on.
Okay.
You can just sit there. So, anyway. All right, guys. That's all we got for you. This is a lot of fun. It's nice being back. I haven't been here for a couple weeks. I want to say thank you to everyone who's watching, and be looking for the preview video on Wednesday and the auctions this weekend. All right, I would say I'll give it to him, but I don't think he'd be able to do it, so I'll just say it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know what to do. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.